Today I'm going to show you how to replace the button that releases the gear shifter on a Volvo V70. Mine's a 2000, but there are a lot of models that have this problem with the sticky or broken shifter button. One common symptom when the button needs to be worked on is that the key will not come out of your ignition. This usually happens not always with a broken but a sticky button that won't come out all the way to its normal position, and if it doesn't click all the way out, then it doesn't release the key. Please take a minute and subscribe. It really helps me out. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can do more with my channel. And click like, and if you want to see my videos as soon as they come out, ding the little bell down in the corner there. Sometimes the shifter knob is not really broken, but it gets stuck, and there's a simple fix that I've been using for years to get by. And you don't really want to spray oil inside the shifter knob like WD-40 because it will stink. What I do is I get a can of lemon pledge or some other type furniture polish, and I will spray around the button, usually with a towel around the rest of it so it doesn't get all over the car, and then start working the button back and forth, and it'll free it up, and usually that'll work for 6-8 months or a year before I have to do it again. At this point though, my button is completely damaged and I need to replace it. As always, all these things I'm showing you to do are just how I fix things. I'm not telling you how to do them, and you should proceed at your own risk. But I hope this video is helpful, and let's continue so you can see how to fix your car if you choose to do it yourself. On my knob, this button is about to completely fall apart. So this is the piece that I'm going to have to remove. So to replace the button in your gear shifter, you're going to have to remove the knob. If it's not already engaged, go ahead and engage your parking brake. I know mine is very good. I do my brake work myself, and this will hold the car in place. If your car will not stay in place with the use of this handbrake, you should block your wheels, put chocks under the wheels so that it will not roll. This procedure is going to require pulling up on the knob to get it to come loose, so be sure to think about where it's going to go when it releases so you don't punch yourself in the face. I'm going to try with my foot on the brake. I have the handbrake on. I know that's good. I'm going to turn the key to the first or second position that will allow you to move the shifter without the car running, and move it to one of the positions that's more toward the back where you can get a good angle to pull this. This little leather cover at the bottom will come off when you pull the knob up, or you can push it down yourself beforehand. It just goes straight down and has a couple of little plastic clips down here. With my elbow on the armrest, I'll firmly grasp the shifter, and then I'll take my other arm and come across my leg here so that I can work kind of like this way and pull as hard as I can up in a straight line from this shaft. Let's give that a try now. That one was pretty easy. I believe some people have a lot more trouble getting theirs off, but for me, it wasn't that big of a problem. Now, to be safe, I'm going to move this. If you push this button down, you can still shift, but I'm going to push this button down and allow it to go all the way to park. So now my car is back in park. I can take the key out of the ignition, and it's just like it's parked any normal time. Now, if you take a look, you can see this button is totally cracked. Usually there's plastic all the way down here, and in my case, this pin was sliding over behind the button and making it stick out like in this position. And when that happened, I could hardly get my shifter to move. So let's go inside, and on the table where it might be easier to show you what's going on, I'll show you the part and how to replace this. Okay, now we're all set up inside to show you how to replace the button itself. The part you need is, this is an MTC part number 20459. It's a shift knob repair kit. This can be found online easily, and it consists of the button, the plastic part, and a spring. We'll open up the package, remove the parts, take a chopstick or a screwdriver or something, push it. There's a little hole up there if you can get to it. Pop this out like this. With some force, you can pull this on out, and you'll see there's a pin that goes in this slot here. There's a pin here, and this is the pin, I believe, that the spring goes on. It goes on just like this. Here's a little view of the piece that goes on the top side of the button. It can come all the way out like that. There's some notches down here, and those go over this pin, and you're going to put those notches on first. So you'll come in, get your pin centered down here. Okay, I used my needle nose pliers here and removed this pin. And I found that the replacement part tolerances are probably not quite the same as the OEM, the original Volvo part. So it's a little tight. I couldn't get it to come down in it. So in here, so what I'm going to do is take an X-Acto, and right along this edge here where the pin goes in, I'm just going to bevel it a little bit so that it'll start going in the right direction when I push down. I'm not going to wallow it out, but it's just on this outer edge, and I'm going to do that on both sides. I'll take the pin, I'll put it back in. Oh, there it goes. So that was just enough to let it work its way down into the slots. So I've done a lot of finagling with this, and it's not exactly an easy thing to do. Okay, there are a lot of videos that they showed you start with this pin up at the top and go down. It seems to be really difficult to do it this way, so I'm going to center this pin and insert it in these slots, and then put the spring in this gap on the side, and then insert the top pin. Okay, with your disassembled shifter knob, you're going to take this spring and orient it this way and put it over this center pin like this, and then just rotate it back. Next thing you're going to do is take this pin and make sure it's centered, and push this back a little bit to about like this. Take your new button and line it up with the lower pin with the slots. You should be able to pop it down on the pin like this. And you'll see the spring is back in there. It's still on the on the center pin, but we need it to be in, we need the spring to be in this gap right here. So I take my needle nose pliers, pull it out, and just put it in the gap. And you'll see now it's in that gap. Okay, now that the spring is in the correct position, we need to take the pin, the upper pin, stick it in like this, and center it. Now once it's centered, you need to use a little bit of downward force on this while you're also pushing it back up into the handle or the knob. So I'll take my thumbs, I'll get it right up to the opening, and then I'll push down and back, and it'll pop in, and look, it's nice and smooth again. And now for the easiest part of the repair, reinstall. your fixed shifter knob with new button. Position the shifter knob in its correct orientation with the button pointing this way. Stick the shifter knob on the shaft and take your hand and with a strong downward motion, snap it in place. That's all there is to it. Don't forget, the boot is just a simple snap-on piece. Take the ring, snap it up around the bottom of the shifter knob, and you're good. To test it, put your key in the ignition, foot on brake, safety of course. Turn it 2 positions so that you can get the car out of gear with your foot on the brake, and test it out with your new fully functioning shifter button. You'll see that this is working perfectly and you've repaired your shifter knob. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, more than you'd know, and it helps me make more videos just like this. Hope you have a great day, and see you again soon.